side of the show right now, and I would say he has a unique perspective on ecom and D2C that literally nobody else has. And
Absolutely.
I say that because this guy, I mean, he lives and works inside the belly of the beast. We all know all of the sexy D2C darlings and how they're doing, but this guy actually sees the inside of all of these businesses. And not that he's got bad things to say, but he's just got knowledge, is what I'm saying. And he is the man to talk to when you need to find top tier talent to scale your biz up and to the right. I am talking about the one and only Carson Dimond. Carson, get in here. Get inside of this show, Carson.
What's going on?
What's going on? Jack, we've got the wrong label. You got to get Carson's label on here, Jack. There we go. There we go. Carson, good to see you, brother. Now we had an argument, a slight argument here. Colin and I did. I said it's Dimond. He said it's Dimond. And I want to say it the right way. I mean, would you settle this once and for all for us?
Yeah, it is Dimond Connect. I always tell people I spell it without the A because I can't afford it.
Oh, you surely can now. You surely can now, Carson. I know you are hooking up every.
Right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right, man. We appreciate you making the time and coming on here. We know that when it comes to finding heads, when it comes to finding elite talent to get inside of the biz, you are the person to talk to. Man, what does the e-commerce hiring landscape look like right now? What roles are the hardest to fill? What's most in demand? Give us some perspective on that, just industry-wide.
For sure. Well, thanks for having me on, first of all. But yeah, we'll dive right into it. The e-commerce space in terms of recruiting is still booming. Brands are still hiring every day. Obviously, you have your head of performance marketing, really overseeing paid and creative. Every brand still hiring that today. Creative strategists. Not only are they hiring one, but a lot of brands are now willing to hire 2 or 3. They have agencies on board. Oh, creative strategist has been the most in-demand role right now.
Really?
That's what I would say. Yeah. And then head of TikTok shop, a lot of brands are bringing those on. It's a very in-demand role as well. I would say something I'm seeing right now is from a creator standpoint, a lot of brands right now we're hiring comedians to be like new UGC creators. We're bringing on comedians to make content, street interviews, skits. They're hilarious. And they're more organic. So there's a lot of things in the e-com landscape we can get into.
Wow. I'm surprised.
Yeah, that reminds me of Wendy's. Do you remember when Wendy's made that huge splash when they hired comedians to write their tweets? And everybody was like, this is insane. This won't work out. You have 5 comedians writing tweets, and it just exploded them. That's awesome to see that it's shifting to direct to consumer now. I mean, that's just incredible.
For sure. I mean, UGC creators were the hot commodity for a while, and then now every brand's like, we need to get more creative. And so that's what we're seeing right now is some of them are willing to bring on some comedians and let them run. They bring a different perspective. They don't really know e-com, so they already have a different way of advertising. But yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Carson, I find it interesting in the same vein, and I would assume that this is coming from, the Andromeda update. Creative diversity is, it's the game. We all have to have it. We all need it. I'm shocked that there are multiple creative strategists inside of businesses. I guess I don't know. Maybe I'm just thinking 12 months ago, but I would think multiple creative strategists is we cannot coexist inside of the business. But this is a trend. This is a trend now.
It's very interesting. You think about they're doing the same thing. How do they collab together rather than collide? But really, the way companies are set up, they can make it happen. Some are maybe more focused on static. Some are maybe more focused on video. It's different, but creative strategies is just the new hot role. we also see right now, if you hire someone that's a copywriter who's just really good with their words, they can end up being a really good creative strategist. Since that's what it is. It's You have to get creative right now. I'm being a creative strategist, trying to hire creative strategists to get creative. It's very unique. But yeah, they have maybe a few people in house. They have agencies. They might have a freelancer. Every client's really trying to ramp up creative, as you all both know.
That is so interesting. I mean, Colin, do you remember when we had Jess from Fire Team on the show,
Yep.
and Johnny Hickey mentioned this as well, mentioning having
Absolutely.
multiple brands inside multiple agencies inside the same account. And now
Yeah.
Carson is bringing up here multiple strategists on the same company, hiring creators, multiple creators. I mean, this is a powerful trend that I think is really coming to the top of the surface here. It's very interesting.
And they also want them to compete with each other. I think they want like a friendly competition, right? It motivates everyone.
That's awesome.
And yeah, it's very unique.
Wow. God, I swear I would not have pegged that 12 months ago. If you would have told me that that's how this is baking out, I would be like, no, there's no shot this is how this is baking out. That's unreal. I mean, this is a bit of a longer question where you have seen a ton of companies start, scale up, go through the hiring process, and then eventually be very successful. Do you have a pattern or a framework that you can then give to companies and say, this is the tiers and this is the structure you should take when hiring? This is the best process. It should start with this person here. It should start with
Good
this
question.
person after that. You should start with this person after that. And then I promise you'll get to 9 figures or 8 figures or whatever.
Yeah, good question, man. I would say it's a few things. I think first and foremost is like you have to put time into recruiting, and you have to have a good recruiting process, and you have to have everyone on board because you put a little bit of time up front, and it'll save you a lot of time down the line. And I think that's the challenging thing is you need these positions tomorrow, but it does take a little bit of time, right? So I think a few things that I'm seeing right now that's working well is this, right? Like we're seeing these companies that are building, let's just say 5, 10, 15, 20 million. They're starting to now hire for their weaknesses. They're starting to now think, okay, we need a lot of positions, but like, what is the most important role? What is the main thing? What do I need today? And then start building it from there. And so I think that's important is like the roadmap that we're seeing well. I think a thing we're seeing is speed right now in recruiting is a huge advantage. Companies, can get missed out on candidates if they don't move quickly. And so I think that's where that recruiting process comes in. Another hack that I'm seeing right now with companies that are doing recruiting really well is they're having projects like right after the first interview instead of having projects like after 4 or 5 interviews, you give a project. If you can do interview with the owner or hiring manager, project right then, see how they think, and then bam, another interview offer. I would say that's well.
It's interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think the last thing is nowadays, like resumes matter, but it's more about the proof of what they've done. They care about evidence. They care about what they can actually take credibility from, and they care about sort of the scrappiness that they have in them. Like I see people that have come from these top brands and performed really well, but I've also seen people who the client has given a chance. They maybe come from like a lean company that you might have not heard of, but they are just as talented. And so I think nowadays clients are being very particular, but are also giving people chances. That meet maybe 80 or 90% of what they need. That other 10 to 20% is built in the company, and they give people a chance, and it's been working out well.
Wow, that's great.
Wow.
That's great. Hey, give me some perspective on this, Carson. I'm sure that you have run into this, but I have seen numerous companies, 8 figures, deep into 8 figures, doing very well, will not use a recruiter. Just will not do it.
Fair.
Because it's, we're going to waste money and, we know better. And actually a lot of times they don't. And the hire may not go very well. What's the hesitancy I mean, have you run into that? And if so, like what is that kind of mountain to get over with people? Why will they not use a recruiter?
Yeah, it's a good question. Some of them are skeptical. Some of them have had bad experiences, maybe from a comp level, like they'd rather
Okay,
put money towards marketing.
I
But
see.
I've had clients that have said I don't partner with recruiters, and then they've had the job open for like 8 months. Uh,
Oh,
yeah, and then but then it's like that time of not having that person in on board, is costing you money,
yeah, it
potentially
is.
a lot more than what the recruiter fee is. And so I understand it, I get it, but there's a lot of clients that are willing to use recruiters, and they're much further ahead. And so yeah, recruiting takes time, it
Interesting.
takes effort. It's like when you get if your car is broken, you could go to the shop and fix it, or you could learn YouTube. You could try to fix it yourself. It's just like time is valuable, and so
Yeah,
these companies are willing to use some recruiter at some point.
that makes a lot of sense.
Carson, jumping off of comp, what you just talked about, who in e-commerce is getting the bag right now? If you could do a top three positions where
Yeah,
there's a kid listening, he's just graduating college, he
good
wants to get
question.
into e-commerce, and he's saying, Carson, I want to get the bag when I eventually go through this career. Where are those top three positions?
Yeah, that's huge. I'd say what is creative strategist like right now? If you're a creative strategist that's performing well, can back it up, can have some actual stories of what you've done. Creative strategist can make between 130 to 150 pretty easy.
Okay.
If you're like director level, you can
Yeah.
make 170 to 200 plus. They also get paid a bag on performance bonuses if that's what they can negotiate in there. And the right person will want a performance bonus.
Right.
You can easily make 200, 230K plus as a really good
Lovely.
creative strategist. TikTok shop, I mean, it's pretty wild. But we just made an offer to a head of TikTok shop person. This is on the higher side, but she got offered 235 base. Yeah, like pretty high.
Ooh.
Most of them are not 235, but a good head of TikTok shop right now can make 150 to 175.
Wow.
And then they can incentivize something based on GMV. Um, and I think it's a pretty simple one as a college student, maybe who's good at design. If you're a good graphic designer and can, chef up landing page designs, emails, paid ads, like you can easily make 3 years, 4 years of experience, 120K plus.
Love it.
Um, so it's, like I would definitely recommend that.
That's
Wow,
great perspective. And
that's
tell me,
crazy.
tell me as you are finding the best talent out there and bringing them into the businesses that you work with, brother, what makes a dog? What makes a dog hire that you just know this guy or this girl's going to get in
Dog.
here and eat it up? She should
Yeah,
be
yeah, yeah.
owning this company. What makes a dog hire? How do you
I love
know
that.
just when it's going to work?
Yeah, that's what we refer to. When we have a candidate that is just there's just something about them that makes a dog, we will tell our client that. And we don't use dog lightly, right? Like we if we have a dog, we're gonna tell you have a dog, and if we don't have a dog, then like we'll just tell you why we like them. I think a few things. One, I think these dog hires from a skill set wise, they have the right skill set, but from a personality wise, they are very curious.
Hmm.
They think like an entrepreneur. They are very scrappy. They don't have an ego. They're very hungry. Um, and they have that mindset of like, I want to build this with you rather than build this for you.
Hmm.
So incentivize me from comp, but also other aspects, and they just kind of have that extra sort of energy when they show up every day. I would say that kind of makes a dog higher. I think
That's
also
good.
when they think like an owner, right? Like when they really have that mindset of what's actually going to perform, what is the main thing, how do we win? When they ask a lot of questions, it's I would say those little traits really kind of make a dog higher. And then lastly, I think these dog hires are able to explain what they've done rather than like, hey, here's what I can do for you. It's like, no, here's what I've done at my last two companies.
Yeah.
Here's how I built them from 5 to 20 million. Here's actually what I did. I think that's sort of what these candidates are doing well to us recruiters is they make it easy for us to sell it to our clients rather than just kind of going around and being super vague. So I would say that.
Wow.
Wow.
That's good.
That's
That's
really
good.
good. I'm
You know,
seeing this through line right now across the industry where I think people are pushing back against passion and pushing more and leaning more into curiosity. I mean, we just had two folks on the show that just talked about curiosity very aggressively. And I think that's a standout kind of metric and kind of like, oh, they say curiosity, my feelers kind of go up and to the right and I'm like, oh, what's going on here? This is really interesting. I totally resonate with that.
yeah, like I listened to My First Million, Sean Purry, and
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
brings on, I know I think you all brought on someone from Cal, but he brings all these
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
scrappy entrepreneurs, and they're all curious, and they're all scrappy, and they're all hungry, and they just ask so many questions. So I learned a lot from him, and I take these things when I recruit people and interview people. I ask the why about things, and I'm always curious to see what they say.
Yeah.
Man, tell us this, because you are, working in sourcing talent. I feel like you have unique perspective on just ecom in general that a lot of us don't. We're thinking about numbers or thinking about product, blah, 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 blah. And
Yeah.
what having the knowledge perspective that you have, being inside the belly of the beast, so to speak, man, what does anything come up that would be surprising to a lot of us? One that always comes to my mind is I feel like this gets confirmed to me again and again. At the end of the day, there are almost like no real adults. We're all just kind of like figuring it out, and we all like at some level kind of don't know what we're doing. And every company is like kind of handling its own stuff and its own mess. It's like every company has a bit of a messy kitchen. That's
Yeah.
maybe some preconceived notion I have. But is there anything that comes to mind that would like surprise us to know, or be encouraging, or just something that would be helpful to the market in
Yeah.
general?
I think, man, yeah, it's a good question. I think there's a lot of things. I think comp wise, like I get every company wants to bring on the right person for the right price. It's a very in demand sort of recruiting space right now, and so you do
Mm,
have to pay, for top talent. And I think they need to really get creative on like bonus structures or equity and other incentives. I think the most important thing is, which sometimes you don't have to recruit as much, is if you can help retain, right? Like
yeah.
retaining really good e-commerce talent is challenging nowadays, right? Like it's a very niche space, and people poach from here and they go to here. It's everyone's kind of picking each other up. And so I think the biggest advice that I have to entrepreneurs is just recognize your employees and reward your employees, right? The two R's. It's not always about comp, but it's like people like when they are appreciated, and then if you do something awesome, like tell them, or just really show that you value them, right?
Yeah.
On the recognizing side, and then on the compensation, like really make sure these people are motivated, because other companies are willing to pay back, as you said. Um, and they invest, right? Like recruiting is an investment, it really is.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, I would say that.
Incredible.
Dude, that's good, man. That's good. And it's a fair point. Really is a fair point that in some sense, ecom is a kind of a small world. And
Yeah.
I've heard some disparaging comments out there when you leave too early, but hey man, if somebody's willing to recognize and reward more than
Yeah,
you are, I mean, it just, it only makes sense. That's a good point about getting creative there
for
on the
sure.
compensation side as well.
I
Um,
mean, like recruiting right now is like it's comes from a few ways. It's like you get it through a referral, you get it through a recruiter, you get it through just networking you have. Like it's a
Yeah.
very it's pretty simple in terms of how you get people, and if you're not building your personal brand, and if you're not putting yourself out there, like you might need to get creative on how you're gonna approach these top talents, right? So like the best employees are not really applying. And it makes sense. They're too busy working on what they're doing. So you really do have to get creative on how you poach people nowadays.
That's that's
So true.
interesting.
It's so true though. Yeah.
So true. Carson, man, we appreciate you making the time and coming on the show, my friend. Tell us this. You got to tell us before you go. And if somebody knows that they need some help and maybe they've been going it alone and not finding the right people, or they fired the last 2 or 3 people that they got on their own, they want to work with you, they want to talk with you, man, where do they go? What do they do?
Yeah. Dimond Connect, like I said, no A in Dimond. So dimondconnect.com, Carson Dimond, no A in Dimond on LinkedIn. You have to say it nowadays. Yeah, that's how you can connect with me, book a call. Love to chat. Yeah, super excited to help some other brands out. We have a lot of success stories they can see. But yeah, and last thing, man, thanks for having me on. You remind me of like Theo Vaughn and Caleb Preston.
All right.
Hey, well, that's our second comparison. That's our second comparison with Theo Vaughn. That's awesome.
We've gotten Theo Vaughn before.
Do you know him?
Oh yeah, Caleb Presley's hilarious.
I think you should have someone else on that's just like eating these like CPG brands, like them just like eating grooms or like Armra or Yellow, all these like DVC brands, just eating them, making people laugh, and they can pay for sponsorship.
That's right. That's right. We need to get some cowboy colostrum on here and have somebody eat some ice cream made of cowboy colostrum. Well, man, we appreciate you coming on. We look forward to having you back, and everybody needs to go and work with you, man.